Hey there, it's a new attempt, new format of live streaming, and in this type of format I want to make kind of a live programming, some kind of a small projects, and the things that I personally need somewhere, not just like a project out of the thin air, just something that makes sense. And yeah, this time I thinking about making a small program on the Golang that will convert a text to an image. So I literally need this. I actually need this thing in my work project, and I decided to make kind of out of this stream, and if this will work out, I will repeat this with other projects and with other programs that I'm writing. So the idea is, let me make the music a bit. Yeah. So the idea is that sometimes, like exact example is, we have an email templates, and this email templates usually have a logo of our client in it, and sometimes there is no logo yet, but there is a name of our client. So we would like to have an image generated dynamically out of the user and like client name instead of a logo, an image. We take the name of this, generate out of this image, and put this into the email. If we would ask why not to use directly a text, sometimes it's not that easy. So some templates approaches do not have conditioning in it. So you cannot say, yeah, I want to make if image exists, then show image, else text. Sometimes it's not possible, and statically generated text images sometimes more handful. Also, some snippets of the code, for example, that you would like to share somewhere. Also can be a case like dynamically generation of an image out of the text. It's kind of a neat thing. For example, for like OTPs can also be in images, just to avoid the copying. So it's kind of a small thing. In the same time, I had zero idea how to solve this. So I made a small research, did a proof of concept, and in this stream, I'll try to make out of this something meaningful, something that works. I'm not sure whether it will be a library or just a one function, a snippet of a function, because it's not clear how big it will be. So if it will be like one function, then it doesn't make sense to make a library out of it, but it makes more sense to make just an example snippet that I will save in the GitHub. By the way, the GitHub project for that, I make it available right now. Give me a second. So GitHub project, it's here. I posted this into the comments. These comments also will be available after that, and also will add this to the description when I'm done. The thing is, this repository, it's empty right now, and we'll start to work on it. So let me switch my view to my desktop. Yeah. Now, just to make it a bit yeah, it's kind of like that. So this repository, I just pulled this of the GitHub, and this will be a place to do so. My first suggestion would be to do some to do. For what we want is a small like summary. Yeah, let's write like summary. I don't know. We want program / function / lib, because we don't know what will be that. To convert text to image, not in AI meaning literally. So we basically just like, you see this text and this is an image, but we're speaking about like more like a logo type thing. Like first thing, it's we need allow input text, font size, foreground color, and background color. Output a custom type, which can be converted to byte array. Oops. Or to file for given path. So basically, we need something that can convert the byte array to the like PNG, JPEG, or wherever. Basically, the main idea of these things is always we do not like generate directly an image out of the text, but we first make an image. Second, like image with some color, and then write some, like not write, draw something over this image. So the idea is we first create some canvas and then draw the text over it. For these things, we have the rasterizers, and I found this library. It's basically a official kind of fish library from the Golang organization, and it's a true type font rasterizer. As it says, it's not like fully compatible with that original library. Original library is written in the C. It's like super old thing, and this one is also not very new, like last commit was 5 years ago. Not great sign, but for first attempt should be more than enough. And in these examples, you can find how the things works. What's the major idea of this? Basically, I made this small research. I'm not sure exactly how. So we exactly how the things work, but I have like rough idea about these things. Okay, so here we have an example of the text. And as I said, it creates an image. So for example, this one, it's also a standard library of the Golang, and this creates an image. This one, like this new RBGA, and these things are just defined in like foreground, background things. So basically we can take these things in our function. And then when you have this an image, we define of course the sizes, width and height of this image, and then we using our font and this rasterizer right over like do the loop, go like loop string like line by line and draw these strings. This all implemented by these libraries. And then when we are done, we write it into this, we can encode it using the PNG code library. We can encode this RBGA file into the, actually we can write them into the buffer, just a normal buffer of the byte array. And we can, if we want, we can of course save it also onto the disk. So yeah, basically this is exactly what we want and what we need, but in terms of we'll try to do this in our own. Just as usually we do in the Golang, I just start like a normal main without any structure. Structure will build itself by itself. I don't want to do this everything in the main. Actually, I want to give some structure in it from the very beginning. And this will be just a generate function. It has input. Just make it simple from very beginning, like font size. Font size, it's a float, I know, something like that. And then yeah, let's leave it for now, and it will return as I said in the beginning, like byte array and error. Let's just make not implemented. Yeah. It's fine. I just had some idea in the head, but I lost the thought. If we get like, okay, font size, I forgot. The font, font path. So thing is, we need a real font, because like text bytes need to be mapped to the pixels draw in this picture. So we can do this only, we can rasterize the font only when we have a font. So we need a font path too. We can start with that. So I don't know, like do the classic unit test. Yeah. Okay. Name I don't know, default test. Args. We're writing that initial test just to make sure that like something works. And arguments are input. Input. It's hello. Let's make some. Okay, hello. Oh, it's enough. Whatever. Font size. I don't know. 24. Font path. I have a font here. I downloaded it from my. Let's from my font book. I can import some. Make sure that this thing actually cannot use anything else than TTF. So we cannot use anything different. At least in this case. I don't know, Helvetica. Helvetica regular. Can I? Okay, wait a minute. Showing the file. I just under my second screen. Helvetica is not TTF, it's TTC. I don't know. Here's like just a normal mono width font. SFNS. It looks just a normal font. Where it's not really important for our case, and I just will copy this over here. And I don't know what byte string we want, but so I would just change this thing, and because I don't want exactly the byte string of the image, I just would make it if len of this one is equal 0, then we generate an error. Like that's it. empty byte array. Oops. So basically, just a kind of a test, not great one. And yeah, next thing is want error false. We don't want an error. And this is just our like default test. Oops. We can run it. We need to do the thingy. Give me a second. Go mod init. It's our address github.com/zive/t2emg. Go mod tidy, go mod. I'm a big fan of vendoring actually. So no dependencies. Can we do test now? Yeah, so our test is working. So first make sure that test fails. Not implemented, we received our error. Stop the things. And now we want to make this test work. Actually pass at least once. I have here my notes. So first of all, we need to as I said, generate the image. Before we do that, we need color. Foreground. And it's kind of wrong, right? I forgot how to spell the foreground. Well, and color. Maybe we'll make some structure that inputs something in this function later on, but for now I just will make FGC stands for foreground color equal color library. It's a library that is part of the standard library. I think I can define it like with just normal RGB, but foreground I would take just a normal black, and background color I would take, I don't know if it's transparent. Yeah, transparent one. So I want to make a kind of a PNG on the transparent thing, but for begin, let's make it white, just in case yellow, just in case if you want to define like RPG, you need to do this way. So you have red, green, blue as a unsigned integer 8, so you need to define this as these numbers. X like 0x ff 0x like hex numbers, right? So yellow white. Let's leave it white. Okay, then load font. So let's say if font path I don't know. Return an error. Font path. Without font path, we can't do anything. And I would write a separated function actually to load font. Path string, and usually it returns about the library. If you remember, we had this library, the free type library. We need that. So we need that. I don't know. Go get. And we need true type. Okay. Since we do not use it yet, it will. So basically, I just installed it, and this library allows us to load the font and parse it at first. True type font, it will return an error. It's not a big thing, but still I would do the loading as a separate function just to reduce the main function size. Bytes array and IO util read file if error and equal return. Kids do not do that. It's good. It's a good practice actually to add some failed to load font due to error. If you don't need if you have like a custom typed errors, then you want to return it as it is, but in this case I would just give it some more context. Then if it's fine, we want to parse the font. Parsed font. And we have this free type library, as I said. Free type it's kind of a bad thing. Here's parse font, this function we need. No, accepts bytes, return the font, basically that's exactly what we need. Parse font, bytes in, parsed font out, and error. And here I would add fail to parse font. Load fonts. Yeah, let's leave it. No, not something. Return parsed font new. So not fun. Hi Harsh. Actually, about the thanks. First of all, thanks for about the video. Happy it was interesting. For learning Golang, there is a go by example. Go by example. It's like one of the best ways to learn Go, I would say. You have here like one by one things you just go through, and I'm personally did this, and it would take you like 1 weekend, like literally 1 weekend. You can do these like first half at least you can do this within like 5-6 hours. I really suggest that. I can post it also in the chat. And another good thing is similar to this one. It's Golang by test or something like go with tests. Yeah, this is the name. And this is another approach, learning Golang using tests. So you literally write tests and learn Go through this. You have like translation to the couple of different languages, and you learn TDD along with that. It's also a kind of neat thing. I'm not the biggest expert in the TDD, but still I'm more than like Go. It's a language that encourages you to write tests. So I would suggest these two resources. First, Go by example, and Go with tests. Completely free. You can learn it by yourself in a spare time. No brainer for me. And how I started, it's Golang tour. Basically, it's an official way to learn provided by Go. So just a tour through language. Just do description here, playground here, you run the code, and here you have step by step, similar to the Go by examples. Yeah, that's I would say this is my way to learn it. Hope it helps. Yeah, let's get to where we stopped. Yeah, I was about writing the description for this function. Return parsed true type font for given path. Wise return an error. I don't know what to write else to this. It's just a straightforward thing. So load font, we check if it's nil or not. And so for checking the string, it can be sometimes convenient to do equal to empty string. Empty string new in the Go is more or less similar thing. I would do it like this way. It just makes things like more exact, I would say. If you have different opinion, feel free. Font, let's do it like ft stands for font, error, load font for font path. If error, not equal new return, I would do it like this. I would say failed to generate an image due to error. And you might ask why I do like $V instead of like that. Actually, there's no difference. Anyway, we'll have the same thing. It just saves me some time in writing these things. Next, when we have the font, we need so-called unified images. Give me a second. Check my phone. Yeah, we need unified images. These images are infinite size pieces of color. This is like foreground, image, no, image, one image, new, uniform, not unified, but uniform images. And I just would like to stop here and click on this. So it says, new uniform returns a uniform image of the given color. And then we go to the uniform. Uniform is an infinite size image of uniform color. So it's like something that doesn't has a size, but has a color. It's like, we need to understand like a, not a, like infinite size pixel. So there is no pixelization, it's just an infinite size pixel. But the structure is super simple. You see, it says it implements interface of color. And if you want, you can read through all the documentation. What I like in the Go, it's, I mean, the code, it's documentation itself. And if you write in a code, try to write comments to it as a documentation. Yeah, so it returns this for foreground, the same we need for background, and image, new uniform background color. Okay, then next step, it's we need this canvas. I would call it canvas. It's not a proper, I think, but the idea is canvas thing. RBG new RBG. Return a new RBG image with a given bounds. So let's see, canvas. So it returns RBG image, which means what it doesn't has a colors yet, but it can have a colors. So that's why it's RPG. You can define different ones as well. So we need a rectangle, a bounds, how big it should be and how it's defined. We need image, rectangle, and what is it? Wait, no, we need another function. We need a function. Let's do it in a separated rectangle. And let's do it image rect. Rect is a shorthand for rectangle. Yeah. We need starting point for x, starting point for epsilon, epsilon0, x0, and x1 and epsilon1. These are basically like sizes of our image. I would do like points. It depends on the size of the font, and actually it literally depends on the size of the font. What I want, we want this we want this to be a one-liner thing. Yeah, let's make this function for testing. Let's make it round, like like rectangular. We'll figure it out later. Rectangle. Okay, we have the canvas, and we can draw colors on this canvas, and therefore we have the Golang draw library, which draws and like makes layers on our initial image, and our initial image is this canvas. Then we have we can define this rectangular or like canvas bounds. This would be the same. Source image. Source image, it's something that will be our beginning thing. You cannot kind of create draws without on nothing. You need something, and source, it's our uniform image, and we need a starting point of this image. So where we will start writing our text. I'm pretty sure that we need some offset, but image point x horizontal, like I don't know, 5 and 5. Can you do that? Oh, it says red. No, it's fine. And the last one is too many arguments in this conversation. Draw image. Rectangular. Style. I don't know, maybe it's Okay, this one doesn't return what we want. We need a point itself, so we can say it like this way. No. Yeah, this thing. Basically, it's just return point itself without any error or something like that. Okay, let's do this 5 thing. And the operation. So this one, if you go here, composition operator, Porter Duff. I have no idea how this thing works, but main thing it works. Main thing it works. Yeah. Then we need at this point, if we I don't know, we can go into this documentation that we had here. At this point, we can take this thing and try to write it into the file. So basically we can say, let's try to do this. We do like buff, call it about the operating system for Rust. I'm kind of super tired of this project, and I stuck on it actually, and I can't find any motivation to do that. That's a thing. I can't say when it will be a new episode, whether it will be, whether not. So I kind of lost an interest in this. I can't find anything that motivates me to write it further, because I know I kind of understood the ideas of it, and at that moment I lost an interest. If you have an idea what to do with it, so if you have something that will make it interesting again, I'm happy to hear that. So that's unfortunately the truth. So, and I can't like make myself to work on this further on the operating system since it doesn't make me, since it doesn't bring me any fun. That's a thing. Yeah. Hope you understand. You will understand me. No, PNG. PNG is another library in the Go that allows so already has things, and it says encode writes the image like M to W in PNG format. Any image will be encoded, blah blah blah, and so on. So basically, we already have this image as image, and writer like buffer like return a writer. So we can write our image, which is canvas, to it, and if error not equal 0, nil, return here. Otherwise we return buff and nil. Um, the I started the fill up tutorial, but the thing is, I don't have the so the weird thing in the fill up tutorial is that he starts with the ARM architecture, and in the second tutorial switched to the x86 architecture, and then I kind of switched to the another one, which was a tutorial from the repository. It's linked in all these videos, and that tutorial was more like helpful and interesting and so on. But again, repeating these tutorials doesn't make me any fun. But what I really like to do this, none of these tutorials give you an information how to implement like interface for monitor, for example, like display. And that would be an interesting project, and that would be it's just a question of time, unfortunately. It might be interesting, but to be honest, I was kind of exhausted, and this project kind of I felt guilty for not continuing this, and kind of dropped this. But this kind of makes me think that I need to start it again to continue, like at least finish it. At least finish these tutorials, because I started to learn a lot during these tutorials. By the way, have you did this tutorial from fill up? Maybe I have a link for me with repository or something like that. I'd like to check it out. Yeah. Foreground. These ones are not used. And font not used. I just comment them out for function testing. And okay, so it returns, at least it returns non-zero byte string byte array, which is kind of helpful. Did you did it with x86 architecture or with a Raspberry Pi? Because like I switched from the fill ops tutorial because of the x86, and I don't have x86 CPU at all, unfortunately. I'm like, Okay. It seems like this generates the byte string, and I know I'd like to write it somewhere. Ah, I got it. Okay, so with QEMO makes sense. Uh-huh. It's kind of neat, QEMO, but I don't know. Like if you've seen like my recent video, I'm already running it on the physical device, and it looks a bit more fun to me, to be honest. But I'll check it out again. Thanks for reminding anyway. So, I know. Hello, it's me. Font size. It's the font path. Font path. It's direct in the same file. That's it. If error, then not equal nil, then I don't know, like log fatal. Ah, I got it. Okay, with the bootloader. Need to try it out again. It's been a couple of months since I last time touched that code and that project. Failed to generate image or text. Good. Hello, it's me. Good. And with error. Okay. I don't know. I don't remember how to do this correctly, but yeah, remaking it for mostly if it's written. I don't remember exactly the architecture of the fill ops version, but if it's done similar to what I did with other tutorial, rewriting it for different architecture means rewriting like hardware specific functions and your initial starting point, so where your program starts, and you might need to rewrite assembler code that initially starts your binary, like standalone binary, and I don't think there will be like a huge difference, since none of these tutorials really implement like interfaces with hardware or something like that. A lot of them, and most of them, have like something rudimentary, but all you need is like write like hardware specific functions, like addresses of the registers and this type of things, and starting point. The rest should work on every type of hardware. Yeah, here I would like to write it into the file, like create create image file, and this is done like img file os create output img. This is not img, png, because we use png as a output. Yeah. Log fatal. I'll do the same actually, but now how to write these things? We have these bytes. We need to do, maybe we need to do we need to close this defer. And we call like, right, let's do error2 equal image file close. If I'm not a big fan of doing this in one line if condition, actually. I think it's less readable. And this, let's just panic because wrong error actually. Let's panic because this is kind of a bad situation when you cannot close the file. So this can be deadlock condition. And we do this, yeah, so in case if other program tries to access this file. We do this and then attempt to write bytes. Does it return an error? Returns the number of bytes written in. We don't care about the number of bytes. And I don't know, failed to write bytes to image, failed to create image output file. Yeah, let's try it out. Go run and go. Okay, so we have this 512 points to 1212 points image. It works, so without text, but we will continue. About the keyboard, I'm doing this further, so you need to understand this is like a long project. But I'm working on this, and we'll continue. About when you say a little keyboard for Raspberry Pi that fit to the pocket, isn't that easier to just, I mean, buy this membrane keyboard, already membrane keyboard for the Raspberry Pi? Because all switches, like mechanical switches, mechanical keyboard switches, they have more or less standard size, so it's kind of difficult to make a small keyboard using a standard MX size switches. Alternatively, you can use momentary switches, like, you know, this is just a normal push buttons, but this will be a very inconvenient keyboard to use, like literally, and it will be super clicky. Not sure that's like a good idea actually. Yeah, I uncomment these things because we will need them soon. And then, so foreground. So this one I would leave for later, and here will be like raster text. So first we don't know whether the text is multi-line or single line. We at least want to split it if there's input, split it if it has new lines. And that's kind of easy, just a new line, and this will be an array of them. This is just a preparation, and split lines if multi-line text. Coda keyboard, no, but I can check it out. What's that? Coda. This one? These are low profile, but they have the same footprint. So these switches are, yes, low profile. I think these are same switches as on Nifi keyboard. For example, this one has the same switches, same switches as this Coda keyboard. These ones, same ones. But this one looks cool. It's kind of neat thing. Too small for for me, to be honest. That one that I'm making it's like 5 rows and a bit more keys, like bigger keys. Yeah, actually the same amount of the keys, but with extra row. This extra 1 row, it's very helpful, but it's kind of neat one. A very small footprint. Nice. Yeah, so we split into the text lines. Then we need city like context of font. This free font has this context thing that holds state of the drawn text in a given font and size. So it's basically settings of settings of the writing thing. Basically, this one just returns a pointer to the thing, and we use it to define set DPI. I don't know, DPI. For most of things, it's more than 72, more than enough. Of course, you can do like 300. This like will be super high resolution thing. We don't need it. Then you want to set font size. Font size, it's our font size that we get into this thing. Then we set a font, and here we need this FT, this parsed font that we load here. Then set the source and destination. Yeah, so destination, it's where we write this text, and this will be our canvas. And source, it's so source, it's an image basically we draw with. So you can imagine it's like a paint that we take and draw the letters with it. So this will be our foreground uniform image, and we need set clip. It's a rectangle where we write the things with like within. So this is our canvas rectangle. Of course, you can write in the different positions, so you can make it cropped, you can make it like bigger than our original canvas, then you have a different image. Basically, it's an image processing and image generation, so you can do whatever you want, but in this case, we want it just to be in place. Then the next thing, it's actually to do the for loop. No, for line in range of text lines. We want it to write like the ctx has a function, a drawString. DrawString accepts a string and a point and a fixed point. So we define here line, and we need this fixed point. This fixed point, it's a thing that we give me a second. Here in this article, not this one. in this example, here was this function. It's a place where we want to start writing the things. So we can do this like free type pt, the same that we used here, like similar to the image one, but this one is like coordinate pair measures to the pixels. Basically, here we have like not real pixels kind of points, and here we have like a fixed pixels point. And we here made canvas. Maybe we don't need to do this. So we draw things like with offset like 5 that is already offsetted. We want it to be a 0 0, and we need to do we need to do horizontal offset. Horizontal offset, let's do like, I don't know, I'm used to use divisible by 8. Let's do like 32. And offset from the top, I don't know, let's do like fixed 16 or something like that. This would write, so if turn nil and error, the thing is, when you write a one line and when you go into the new line, you want to move it, your fixed pointer, like starting pointer, you want to move it horizontally down, like no, vertically down. So we need to do the epsilon like coordinates. We want to change to the size of the font size multiplied by, so this is like by 1.5, 1.2, and this one is, so this one is just a point of PT, it's like coordinate, like double thing. This one is like one thing, and this one is like that. That's it, I think. We can run it again. It was successful. Yeah, so now our text is written like hello on the top with this font. Not convenient at all. So we need just to add the vertical offset, maybe, I don't know, from GitHub. Yeah. Open it again. Yeah. So basically the same height of the font. I assume it's kind of a centered width. So if we would remove our font size, it's 24. So if I remove this, it will be kind of a half hidden, I assume. Yeah, not half, but completely. So this one helps. So the question, how do I make it? How do I make it kind of what I want to do? Basically, this is what we want. The thing is just to receive the wished result. So we need to use a certain font, certain size, maybe add to this function some extra input fields to make it colors definable. So I would make it with transparent and make it black, same. And the image size, the width, this would be cool to calculate the width of the text and kind of dynamically define the size of the image too, but it's like maybe for next time. And the height, I would make like 64. Just for final tryout. Yeah, so as you can see, it works. The rest of the work is to make it centered, like small details, to look it better and so on. I think it's for library, it would be like too much. Let's write some README thing. A small teen image out of text. Written during stream, and I would add the link to the stream. So as I said, I'm a big fan of vendoring, because I don't like losing dependencies. First of all, I would add these things. Okay, I removed the font itself because it's part of intellectual property of someone. Okay, base Okay, then the rest of it, it's a vendor array. Okay. Yeah, here it is. You can find it in the GitHub. I would add the link to. I add it to the description. And yeah, that's it. I understand this is not like perfectly finished thing. Maybe in the next streams I will continue this. Maybe I will start another thing. First of all, thank you for joining me in this stream. Let me know if you like this. If you didn't like this, feel free to comment below. Feel free to write any issues in the GitHub or point me where I was wrong or where I could do better. I personally kind of like the way it went, the way the coding was. It's kind of a fun thing. Yeah, I accidentally committed this file to this. What's that? First of all, not only me, the other one also. License. This is part of the MacBook, but like Mac operating system font, so shouldn't be a problem. I can kids, do not do what I'm gonna do right now. Not a great thing to do. Okay, I deleted it and it commits amend. It's a Vim. QA main. So I just want to force push. Not cool, to be honest. Not cool thing. I didn't delete it. I did, but it did not disappear. Can I delete it? Okay, well, not cool. I just didn't want to commit this, but accidentally committed. Happens. Yeah. How do you like that? How do you like this coding experience, watching the boring coding processes? It's absolutely new to me to code live. Let me know how do you liked it. It was kind of fun. I usually like code, take a screencast, and cut it, do some montage and all these things, but this time was kind of ad hoc thing. Anyway, thanks for joining. Hope you like this. I'm gonna repeat this about all the questions. Thank you very much and see you next time. Bye bye.